Hey everyone! Today we are building a pumpkin for your Sims to live in. I was thinking, my idea was that this pumpkin would be a regular sized pumpkin and your Sim would be like a teeny tiny little fairy living in a pumpkin patch. So, I mean, in theory, you could see this as a giant pumpkin and imagine that your Sims are regular size and just living in this giant pumpkin patch, but I was definitely going for a Thumbelina-sized Sim living in a regular-sized pumpkin. But anyway, we are building today on this lot called Cordelia's Secret Cottage. It's sort of tucked away at the very, very top of Henford-on-Bagley. It's pretty secluded, and so I thought that would be good because there's no buildings around that might like ruin the illusion of your Sim being like a teeny tiny little fairy. I used rounded walls to make the shape of the pumpkin. Those are a more recent addition. We got those in the game around the same time that High School Years came out. And then I used a cone-shaped roof on top and sort of rounded it as much as I could and lowered it a little bit to make sort of a pumpkin shape. It's not a perfect pumpkin shape, but I feel that once I get the other pumpkins and the vines and the greenery sort of surrounding it, it really comes together. I added a little log from either Base Game or Cottage Living, but I added that on top of the main pumpkin to sort of make a little faux pumpkin stem, as well as some leaves to add a little bit of detail and try to really bring the pumpkin to life. As far as the wallpaper and the roof goes, I went with this orange metallic wallpaper and roofing. So that might be a bit of a weird selection, but I felt that it was one of the best orange wallpapers as far as the color went, and then also I felt like maybe these metallic grooves kind of like added to a pumpkin texture. So it might be a little weird that these are technically metal swatches, but I actually really liked the look of them and I felt like this was the best option. Anyway, now I'm just adding a few little details to this pumpkin. I added a door and it did kind of glitch out a little bit, but I found that if you place it in a few different places and sort of move it around a bit, you'll find a place where the door works. At least that was my experience. And then I only add one small window because I didn't really want to take away too much from the pumpkin. I really wanted it to look first like a pumpkin and then second like a home, if that makes sense. I add some vines growing up the side here. These are from Get Together, and I just kind of size them up and lower them into the ground to get just like a bit of an overgrown look, like some vines are growing up the side of this pumpkin. And then obviously I add a little winding pathway with my favorite Base Game stones. I don't think I've ever done a build where I don't do a little winding pathway with those stones. And now I am grabbing some really cute leafy bushes from the werewolf pack and adding them on top of this pumpkin, sort of hanging over the front of it to give the look of a sort of leafy stem draped over the pumpkin. I thought that was really cute. And then I add some more of those same bushes just around the pumpkin patch because I really liked the look of them. And I just go around and adjust the leaves and the vines and stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I used a bunch of these like roots slash vines that came from Get to Work, and I think they are so cute. They really added to the pumpkin patch, I felt. And also at night, they sort of glow, which I thought was really nice because it added to like the enchanted vibes. And then I add another pumpkin, the biggest one yet, here at the back, and I go in with those same bushes from Werewolves to make another leafy stem. These pumpkins are all from Cottage Living, by the way. I also thought of maybe adding a few of the pumpkins from the Seasons pack, but they just didn't really appeal to me the same way that these pumpkins did. These pumpkins have more of a realistic look, I feel, and they come in like 3 different colors, and I don't know, I really liked the look of it. This is probably my most on the nose autumnal build that I've ever done. Like for instance, my last build, it was like a little Tudor micro home, and It wasn't necessarily a fall build, but I added some fall vibes by building it in the autumn season and like using a few warmer sort of reddish wood tones, but like I didn't cover it in pumpkins or anything. And I actually mentioned in that voiceover, I was like, beware, one of my upcoming builds, it's like a pumpkin sort of puked all over it, and this is the one I was referring to when I said that. And I'm not even complaining. I had so much fun doing this. And now we are heading on to the interior of this pumpkin, kind of figuring out the floor plan. So there's like a big front room, a bedroom, and a bathroom that you can access via this little hallway space. And then this front area is where I'm going to put a little kitchen / living area. For the kitchen, I used these orange appliances that came from Country Kitchen Kit. And I pair them with these gorgeous light orange bar stools that came from the high school pack. I go with some light wood flooring from Cottage Living, and then I use a backsplash that's kind of an orangey stone from the Country Kitchen Kit as well. And then moving on here to the sort of living area, I went with this base game couch. It's very white, but it has an orange pillow on it and a few yellow pillows. So I thought that was perfect for the color scheme. I went with a gramophone instead of a television because I felt like that kind of went with the enchanted fairy tale vibes of this build, but you could always switch that out for a small television if you prefer, adding a little trash can, of course. And then over here I add a dining table. I try a few different dining tables out, but I end up with the bar height table that came from Cottage Living, and I just put it in a plain white swatch, so again I can pair it with those same gorgeous orange bar stools. And then I add some pink flowers up top and some of these paintings from the werewolf kit that I think are so cute. I absolutely love using these paintings. Now I just go around and I add a few more details. I had this really plain but cute white curtain that came from Base Game. And then if you saw there, I tried to place down that really beautiful mirror from Werewolves, but I didn't really like it in this space, so I kind of just put it to the side. I put it in the bathroom space to use later. And I was so glad that I found a use for that because that is like my favorite item in the whole game right now. It's so gorgeous. But yeah, I add a little bit of clutter, a basket with some blankets in it, and like a jug of milk, maybe that is. It's like a metal jug of milk. Don't know what to call that. I add a cute little orange rug underneath of the sink. And then I go in and I switch out the painting that I have in the kitchen right now. It's like that painting of pears from the base game, but I switch it out for this cute little wall hanging piece from Tiny Living. I think it's so cute. It's got a little teapot on it. It's got like an oven mitt hanging from it, and I chose this white and pink swatch that I think is super cute and adds really nicely to the color scheme. And now we are moving on into the two other rooms. Well, the main space was very much orange with a few pink accents. I feel like these other two rooms are more pink with a few orange accents, but I still think it goes quite nicely. I use the same tile from the main space, this cute little orange and white tile that came from Country Kitchen Kit. I use an orange and pink bed that came from high school years, and this cute little one tile desk from Werewolves. Honestly, that pack came with so many great, just like enchanted looking items. I was thinking of using the trunks that came with the werewolf pack as a little dresser, but I actually changed my mind and went with this really tall wardrobe that came with the high school years pack, just adding a few base game paintings and an easel. And then I sneak a little wall hanging bookshelf kind of into the wardrobe. I thought that was cute, and that is functional. I play tested all of this. Then adding another window with these same plain curtains. They did look a little funny with the curved walls, but I found that if I size the curtains down slightly and I'm a little careful with how I place them, they actually look quite nice with the curved walls. Now we are moving on into the bathroom space, and actually because of a flooring glitch, I changed the shape of this hallway and the bathroom just slightly. You might have seen that. And even though that was, you know, purely because of a flooring glitch, I actually think that the bathroom is such a cuter shape now. Like, you have the bathtub sort of tucked to one side and the toilet and sink tucked to the other side, and then you have this gorgeous window in the middle with a really cute side table and like a bunch of clutter on it. So that actually turned out quite nicely, I feel. And then I found that that gorgeous werewolf's mirror fit really nicely above the tub, so I was super happy that I found a place for that. But anyway, just adding some final little touches, a bit of clutter here and there. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the build. So if you liked it, please go ahead and leave a like. That would help me out a lot. Or subscribe if this kind of thing is your cup of tea. I really enjoyed making this video, so I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye!